Not a week after the heated exchange between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor, the two of them met at an airport, and everything went into total mayhem. And they even had to lock down the airport. Can a fight be coming in the ring or even maybe in the octagon? Let's take a look. Jake Paul and Conor McGregor have never been friends, and their latest exchange shows that this isn't changing anytime soon. Just minutes after Jake Paul won by a sixth-round knockout over Mike Perry, bringing his professional boxing record to 10-1, Conor McGregor took to social media to criticize him harshly. McGregor attacked Paul's performance, claiming that Paul had a significant weight advantage and suggested he was using performance-enhancing substances. He mocked Paul's call-out of 60-year-old Mike Tyson, who recently had a medical emergency during a flight. McGregor's comments were filled with insults, accusing Paul of being afraid and questioning the legitimacy of his fighting skills. Jake Paul received a harsh critique from Conor McGregor on Twitter. McGregor accused Paul of having a significant weight advantage, using performance-enhancing substances, and still performing poorly in the ring. He also took a jab at Paul's management, suggesting they couldn't handle real athletic commission testing in Vegas.
Come and try your trade here at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Make a new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the King of Violence, he titles himself. And, you know, he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against, you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend that we're all rooting for him. But, you know, this is the real deal.
Paul didn't hear all of McGregor's comments, but got the main points. McGregor also claimed he was firing Mike Perry from BKFC after Perry's loss on Saturday. McGregor, who became a co-owner of BKFC in April, made this decision despite Perry being the promotion's biggest star since joining from UFC.
He was big upping his boy Mike Perry. I said, okay, Conor, like after I fuck up Mike Perry, then you're next. So Conor's on Twitter all the time. He's on his yacht all the time, but guess where he's not? In the ring fighting me. So he can talk all the fuck he wants, but the notorious MMA is scared of Jake Joseph Paul from Disney Channel. And I put that on my mind. Thank you, everybody.
Paul found it upsetting that McGregor would fire BKFC's champion Perry. He felt this was unfair and claimed he had predicted it. Paul then directed his frustration towards McGregor, whom he's been challenging to a fight for years. He taunted McGregor at the post-fight press conference, although it's unlikely that McGregor will agree to a boxing match with Paul. Paul pointed out that while McGregor went after Perry publicly, he himself is not stepping into the ring. Paul suggested that McGregor spends more time on Twitter and his yacht than preparing for a fight with him. Paul ended his press conference by saying McGregor can talk all he wants, but he believes McGregor's scared of him. He added that he's confident in this statement.
He doesn't have a promotion because me and him are both owners of BKFC, so he can't fire me. We can fight in bare knuckle. Look at me, I lost to Jake Paul. Why don't you go fight Jake Paul in boxing with the gloves on? I think it would be worse than Conor McGregor versus Mayweather.
And just a couple of days later in the week, while Conor McGregor was coming from a promotional even for his whiskey, he came face-to-face with Jake Paul as he was making way to his home in Puerto Rico. At first, everything began with Conor shouting, "piss bag," like in the tweet, and then Jake Paul began taunting him to come over. Conor didn't need much taunt and lunged at him while they got into a fight. Both securities tried to stop the fight and calm down the situation, but everything became so overwhelming that even the police and the airport security got involved. The whole section got shut down and even a flight was delayed as people couldn't pass. Despite the heated exchange with McGregor, Paul doesn't seem too worried about their verbal battle. Instead, he's focusing on his next big fight. Paul's next challenge is a boxing match against former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. This fight is scheduled for November in Dallas and will be broadcast live on Netflix. Paul is gearing up for this significant event, shifting his attention from his feud with McGregor to preparing for the upcoming bout. Paul has mostly fought former MMA fighters in his boxing career. Mike Perry, who was in the UFC from 2016 to 2021, is now a key figure in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC. After losing to Paul, Perry was reportedly fired by Conor McGregor, a co-owner of BKFC. McGregor made a public statement about releasing Perry, suggesting he should compete in other boxing championships. In response, Perry pointed out that McGregor can't actually fire him since they are both owners of BKFC. Perry challenged McGregor to fight Jake Paul, hinting that McGregor would struggle even more than he did in his fight against Mayweather. Despite the ongoing war of words, it's unlikely that Paul and McGregor will ever face each other in a fight. Paul is much larger, standing at 6'1" and weighing 200 pounds, while McGregor is 5'8" and 155 pounds. Given the significant size difference and their current plans, their rivalry is expected to remain a battle of words on social media, rather than an actual fight in the ring. Jake Paul sat down with his brother Logan to review his recent performance and discuss his upcoming fight with heavyweight legend Mike Tyson on November 15th. Logan, also known as the Maverick, was surprised to learn that Jake's fight cost $64.99 for US customers to watch. He joked that Conor McGregor must have watched it live and then commented on it on social media. Jake responded by thanking McGregor for the $65, which left Logan amazed at the high price of the pay-per-view. The conversation shifted to McGregor's social media tirade, where he fired Mike Perry from the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, a promotion McGregor recently acquired. Logan criticized McGregor's decision, calling it a typical mistake, and noting that McGregor, despite his wealth, is still entertaining. Conor McGregor's return to the UFC has been delayed due to a toe injury he suffered last month. He recently revealed that he has only 2 fights left on his UFC contract and is considering a move to the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, afterward.
2 fights?
Two fights left on my UFC contract.
And then you're taking off your gloves and joining
Possibly, yes. Possibly.
And, any idea of what? In 1 year, 6 months, 2 months?
Well, I have my fight. I had my fight and it had to get postponed. But that's still gonna happen this year, end of this year.
Okay.
The talk is the end of this year, so I'd like to finish out the year with that. Then I've got 1 left. So we'll see what happens. After that, I'm gonna see what's on the horizon. A bare knuckle fighting world title sounds very, very exciting to me. So we'll see what happens.
Earlier this year, McGregor became a part owner of BKFC. His brands, Proper 12 and Forged Irish Stout, have been sponsoring the promotion. In 2023, he attended a BKFC event and showed interest in competing there. He even had a face-off with BKFC star Mike Perry during the event. McGregor was set to make his comeback at UFC 303 on June 29th in a fight against Michael Chandler. However, he had to pull out due to a broken pinky toe. He hasn't fought in the UFC since July 2021, when he lost to Dustin Poirier and broke his leg. A new fight date for McGregor hasn't been set yet, but it is expected that he will face Chandler later this year. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani mentioned that the plan is for McGregor to fight Chandler in December, likely on the December 14th pay-per-view event. McGregor himself tweeted that he has spoken with UFC President Dana White and is hopeful to fight in 2024. After the fight with Chandler, McGregor will have 1 more fight left on his contract. It would be surprising if the UFC lets him go, but McGregor, now 36 years old, has enough star power to influence his next career move. The UFC might have to let McGregor pursue his goal of competing in BKFC. Or might we see McGregor in the ring with Jake Paul or other boxers? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.